Hey folks, welcome back to Misty and Ike, a daily pop culture podcast, produced by Brickyard Media Group. And now here's your hosts, Misty Roberts and Isaac Heckert. Good morning, Misty and Ike.
Good morning, Ike and Misty.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Guess what today is?
Postage stamp day.
I got a letter in the mail about it. No, I didn't.
You've been really excited about this episode
Dude,
for a long time.
So excited because there's a lot to learn about stamps.
Well, it just so happened that when I was doing my research, today is the day in history that the postage stamp went up from 2 cents to 3 cents. So today is the perfect day for us to do your postage stamp episode.
It's the man trying to keep us down and take our money.
It sure is.
1 cent to 2 cents. What's it at now?
Like 55, I think.
That's something I
right?
can Google. You know when the first stamp came out?
I don't.
How much is a stamp right now? Cool. 55 cents.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Are you tired this morning?
I am. Can't get myself awake right now.
Well, the first stamp looks like that if you're watching.
It's pretty.
If you're not watching, it's like black with a white crowned lady that says postage 1 penny. And although a number of people claim to the concept of the postage stamp, it is well documented that stamps were first introduced in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland on May 1st, 1840 as part of postal reforms promoted by Sir Rowland Hill.
It's a pretty stamp. I liked it.
Yeah. That's
So
known as the penny black.
Penny black.
Penny black.
Because it was 1 penny.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what the M and the H on the bottom stand for.
I'll look it up while you tell us another fact.
Well, stamps came to the United States in 1847. So 7 years later, we issued our first stamps. 800 people have been featured on the United States Postal Service stamps.
Do you think we are on there?
Not yet.
Oh.
But we will be.
Dude, when we get on a stamp, bro.
Yeah. Up until a few years ago, everyone who had their face appear on a stamp had been deceased, but they did away with that rule.
There's living people on stamps now?
Yeah. You don't have to be dead anymore. And you don't have to be a real person. Like I have a book of Harry Potter stamps.
Oh, yeah. They've got like Bugs Bunny and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You don't have to be a living, breathing person.
It doesn't always say M and H. I've got one here with R and A, and there's a bunch of other ones. So I think it's how the book got split up. R, B, M, H, L, D, all kinds of stuff. I can't figure out why they put it there.
Huh. Okay.
Back to more facts.
Give me some facts.
Oh, boy. I'm stuck in a British article.
Uh-oh.
Perforations. Oh, do you know the first stamp in the United States didn't have adhesive on the back?
Well, how'd you stick it on the envelope
You were
then?
responsible for your own glue.
What?
Yeah.
You had to glue that sucker together yourself?
Yeah, it says it right here. The first postage stamps did not come with a sticky back. People used their own glue or paste or figured out other ways to keep the stamp on the envelope.
Well, what's another way?
I don't think I don't think that's appropriate for our family morning talk show.
Oh, ew!
Like saliva or
I don't think that's what you meant.
No.
Ugh.
Gross. Sticky.
I'm going to give you some people who have been featured on stamps that may surprise you or may not.
Okay.
Buzz Aldrin.
That doesn't surprise me.
Our friend Buzz Aldrin.
Do you think he took a stamp to space?
I wonder if they do take stamps to space.
I'll look it up.
Gracie Allen, the comedian. I believe that's George Burns' wife. Let's see some other funny ones. Johnny Appleseed, conservationist. Louis Armstrong, jazz singer. Neil Armstrong, also an astronaut. Here's one for you. Desi Arnaz. Lucy and Desi. Desi was on a postage stamp.
Yes. I'm sorry. I found a scandal.
I was going to say, there's something going on there. I see it in your face.
Look at this. The Apollo 15 postal covers incident.
Tell me more.
Reading along, in a 1972 NASA scandal involved the astronauts of Apollo 15, who carried about 400 unauthorized postal covers into space and to the moon's surface on the lunar module Falcon. Some of the envelopes were sold at high prices by West German stamp dealer Hermann Seiger and are known as Seiger covers. The crew of Apollo 15, David Scott, Alfred Worden, and James Irwin agreed to take payments for carrying the covers.
So what do they mean by covers? Do they mean envelopes?
It's like an envelope with a stamp on it.
Okay.
Like it's this picture right here.
Okay.
It's like been to the moon and in space. That is
so
nuts.
freaking cool.
I want one.
Me too.
They agreed to take payments for amid much press coverage of the incident. The astronauts were called before a closed session of the Senate committee and never flew in space again.
Holy crap. They got a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you ain't never going up there again. So check this out. 3 astronauts and an acquaintance, Horst Ehrman, had agreed to have the covers made and taken into space. Each astronaut was to receive about $7,000, equivalent to $43,000 in 2020. That's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money.
Scott arranged to have the covers postmarked on the morning of the Apollo 15th launch. So cool. Wow. And on July 26, 1971. Wow.
But wait, okay. I'm real confused because aren't there people that are there to like, isn't every single tiny thing that's put on a spaceship like packaged specifically by NASA and like inspected and blah, blah, blah? Like, how did they just get these aboard a spaceship?
I don't know. They might have stuck it like in their spacesuit. There's 400 envelopes, right? How many come in a box? 500?
Yeah, but like someone's there to put your spacesuit on you. You don't just put that on yourself to like strap in all the things. And
I think maybe back then.
Crazy.
Yeah, they were packaged for space and brought to him as he prepared for liftoff. He brought them aboard in a pocket of his spacesuit. They were not included in the list of personal items he was taking into space. So you could take a picture of your family or whatever. You just have to report it, and they didn't report it.
But that's a picture. That's not 400 envelopes.
Yeah. Okay. So $43,000 today. An astronaut makes GS-11 astronauts' average salary is $66,000 per year. GS-14 astronauts can earn up to $144,000.
I am sorry. Why? How is it that we are sending people to space and they only make $150,000 a year?
Because they can come back and write a book or sell a space rock.
I am sorry. That there's something very wrong with that to me.
Yeah,
it does not.
I'm assuming GS-11 astronauts don't go to space as much as GS-14 astronauts.
Well, either way, the topped out salary is $144 a year.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I'm so glad we found a scandal in the middle of Postage.
Right?
When we get off this episode, I'm going to look up on eBay if I can buy one of those.
Yeah.
And we're going to hang
those
it right here.
Those are real cool.
Dude.
I bet that they like took them and they're in the Smithsonian or
Stamps
something.
in space. Not all 400 of them. I guarantee it. I know I can find one. I just don't know if I can afford one.
True. Very true. I am looking. The Beatles were on a postage stamp once.
Yeah?
Of course they were.
Of course. They had to be.
Of course they were.
In England or here?
Here. These are all U.S. Milton Berle, the comedian. Edgar Bergen, a ventriloquist, was featured on a postage stamp in 1991.
Oh, really? I'm not in.
Are you trying to ventriloquist?
I'm not in my mouth. I am a good ventriloquist. You see, you just don't have to move your mouth very much.
I don't know about that.
The hard part is moving your hand.
I
Anyway.
don't know about that.
Blah, 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 and so on and so forth. In 2014, one of the postal covers given to Seeger was sold for $50,000. So I'm not trying to dwell on it, but I could afford one, but then I wouldn't be able to eat ever again.
Right.
That's if it hasn't gone up in the last 7 years.
Oh,
sorry,
man.
when I get on a conspiracy or something with space and stamps,
yeah,
forget about it.
I never knew this stamp thing about you.
Oh, yeah, stamps are great.
I just never knew you were so enamored by them.
I'm not a collector. I have a couple collectors. I have an Elvis stamp.
Okay.
From 93, 94, whenever it came out. Mm-hmm. My mom made sure that we went to the post office and got it stamped, postmarked the day it came out.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I have an Elvis stamp.
What other stamps do you
I think I have
have?
a Nixon stamp.
Interesting.
I don't know if he was ever on a stamp. But
I'm sure
I have
he
a Nixon
probably was.
button. I have some old crap in a box.
Okay.
I have some crap in a box.
I helped you move. I know you got crap in the
Oh,
box.
boy. I got rid of a lot of crap.
You know that Johnny Cash was on a stamp in 2013?
I'm Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Wilt Chamberlain.
Let's look at some pictures of stamps. Look at all these pictures of stamps, guys.
Charlie Chaplin.
That's the Elvis one that I have.
Yeah. That's
The purple one.
look at it, 29 cents. Isn't that cute?
Yeah. I remember it always made the news when the postage went up. It would be like Dan Rather would be like,
It's a big deal.
"Hello, I'm
Yeah.
Dan Rather. Tonight we have breaking news. The price of stamps is going up." And my mom would be like, "Again? They just raised it."
You know, back when we thought that was the biggest postage scandal that we were going to deal with.
Yeah.
Now we've got Louis DeJoy.
Oh man. Wait, is that a
I mean, maybe we don't have him anymore since we're recording in the future.
in the future? Do you think there'll be a big stamp scandal between now and when this comes out?
Something tells me there won't be a stamp scandal, but there's a fairly large post office scandal that's been going on for about a year.
Yeah, there's a whole thing
Yeah,
happening.
it's a pretty big deal.
I hope they keep it around. I like going to the post office.
I do not. I don't share that with you because my post office is in the middle of Hollywood, and there's always a line of like 300 people.
Yeah.
And the people that work there are real awful.
Oh no.
Which is really confusing because my actual postman himself is like the most pleasant man in the world.
My grandfather was a postal man.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you like stamps so much.
He never made more than $7,000 in his whole life.
Oh.
But in the 50s, like
Yeah,
I think he retired in like 65, 70.
Yeah.
65 or that's a 5-year gap. Yeah. he came back from the war and delivered mail.
I like that. That makes sense to me now why you like stamps so much.
Yeah. I mean, I never put that together.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how easy of a job it would be to walk around a neighborhood delivering mail when you just got back from war?
Right?
Like you're doing 12-hour days shooting at other people.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, wait, you're telling me that you're going to pay me money. I'm going to take this envelope and I'm going to stick it in that box and then go to the next house and stick something else in another box.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of military dudes did that.
I think they probably did.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember when I was a kid, all of the postmen were older.
Mm-hmm.
They were all older.
Then you, hopefully.
Well,
you got to be 18 to
I
deliver
mean,
the mail.
older.
Yeah.
And like now, like the ones in my neighborhood are super young, like younger than I am. And you know, I'm super young, of course. But there, like I said, my postman is the most pleasant, nicest, like always a smile on his face, always happy, you know, yelling out to people in the neighborhood, playing with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that actually work at the post office are just wretched.
Yeah.
Like they just hate life. I understand now why the term going postal is a thing.
I'm glad that you said that.
Like they are the epitome of that.
Yeah. That's what started that whole like.
Yeah.
Do you know when going postal was coined as a term?
I don't.
1986.
Okay.
1986. The expression derives from a series of incidents in 1986 onward in which the United States Postal Service workers shot and killed managers, fellow workers, and members of the police in general public in acts of mass murder.
Yeah.
So-
that completely makes sense. And
Yeah.
like I said, I totally understand it after going into my post office.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand why it's not called going DMV. Because everybody at the DMV is worse.
Yeah, but you don't have shoot 'em ups at the DMV.
You should.
But you don't.
I mean, I don't want there to
I was
be
like,
one.
wow.
But like, if you had to bet money, if it was 1986, and you had to bet money whether or not people would freak out at the DMV or the Postal Service, I would have bet all my money on the DMV and been broke.
That's why I keep telling you not to be quite such a betting man.
That ain't never gonna happen.
I know.
I bet you $1 I keep betting.
That's okay. I'm gonna
No
take
bet.
that bet.
No bet.
No bet. Pass.
Let's hit them with one more stunner fact about stamps, and then let's get out of here.
All right. What do you got?
Oh, I don't have one. I thought you did.
I'm trying to find like the craziest person that's ever gotten to be on a stamp.
Well, let's tie one into yesterday's. Has there ever been a picture of Lady Liberty on a stamp?
I'm sure. Craziest person.
Oh yeah, there's tons and tons.
I was gonna say,
probably the number
didn't
one
she
image.
have her own stamp like for a really long time? Like, wasn't she the freedom stamp or whatever. Like right now we have the one that has the flag on it. You know, the forever stamp. Like wasn't she one of those?
I got another scandal.
Oh my gosh.
I got another scandal.
Okay.
Involving Lady Liberty and a stamp.
Okay.
Look at this headline. U.S. Post must pay $3.5 million for wrong Lady Liberty on stamp.
Oh.
They used the Las Vegas Lady Liberty.
Shut up.
So then the artist that made here we go. The U.S. Postal Service has been ordered to pay $3.5 million for copyright infringement after mistakenly using the wrong Statue of Liberty on a stamp. The Postal Service used the image of sculptor Robert Davidson's Las Vegas replica on a 2010 stamp design instead of the New York original.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Davidson called his replica sexier, and a judge ruled that the statues were indeed unmistakably different. The U.S. Postal Service has not commented on the verdict. Wow.
Well, I'll be.
I would argue, if I was the defense for the United States Postal Service, that we are an arm of the government. It's a statue owned by the government.
Okay.
And that did Mr. what's his name, Davidson, did he license the image to reproduce it?
I would guess probably yes, that he would have had to have done something.
He must have legally had it because I would say that they're not too much different. But
I think it's okay though for the post office to admit that they were wrong. I think it's okay for them to be like, yeah, we used the wrong one.
Yes, but I don't think
I think it's really stupid for the guy to sue and get money out of it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, because he already made all that money doing that project for Vegas.
Exactly.
They didn't skimp out on it.
Right.
Well, I can't believe we found 2 postal scandals.
I'm not surprised you were able to find some stamp conspiracies going on.
Stamp-spiracies.
Stamp-spiracy.
That's the name of this episode.
Stamp-spiracy.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not so sure.
I think YouTube hates the word spiracy.
At this point, yeah. Everyone in America hates the term spiracy.
Well, except the spiracists. Spiracists? Anyway.
Conspiracists.
Well, thanks for listening to us about stamps. Tell us a stamp fact that you know that we didn't get to.
Put a stamp on it and send it.
Wow. And since it's not Friday.
We'll see you tomorrow.
It always ends with Misty laughing.
At herself.